Hello everybody. In this video, I shall teach you how you can place sprites in a grid. For this purpose, let me start a simple new project and introduce a new sprite. So I shall remove my cat sprite, right? And I'll paint a sprite, which is very simple. Let's say it looks like an oval, right? So for example, let's say an oval like this, and I'll just center it nicely. Let's say this sprite, and maybe I can make it a little bit smaller, right? So I want to, let's say, place this sprite in a regular grid, right? Now, it turns out that the logic that we use for this particular activity is in fact very powerful, very universally applicable, right? So while we will look at this in context of using a single sprite and how we can create its copies, its clones along a grid, how we can place it along the grid. In fact, the usages are many, right? For example, you can make games where a sprite takes on different costumes and goes and places itself in all these different locations. There are many applications. So I thought it's a good idea to just review the basic concept on how this whole thing happens, how the placement of this thing happens, right? So for this purpose, let me create a new backdrop, and the backdrop I like to use for illustration's sake is the XY grid, right? So we'll use this backdrop, right? Now let's say I want to create clones of this, right? Create copies of this, create clones of this particular sprite at, say, here and here, right? Basically, let's say I want to create 3 rows of this particular sprite. So how do I do that? Well, I can start writing a little bit of code. So I go to when flag clicked, right? Uh, of course, in the beginning, I'll say hide, right? So I say hide, and what I say is, let's say as I told you, I wanted to go to maybe this point, somewhere here, and say somewhere here, and create one sprite each, right? So I'm going to use cloning for this purpose, but how can I make it go to the points I wanted, right? So I could use in the motion block, for example, set x to, maybe let's say I'll use minus 180, which means basically from 0 all the way here, right? And maybe I'll set, maybe let's say y to 120, right? In fact, let me just, yeah, it's okay. So I'm saying set x to minus 180, y to 120, and let's say I say in the control block, I say create a clone of myself, right? So what this will do is that this act will create a copy of this particular sprite at the location minus 120, 120, which is nothing but minus 120, minus 180, I'm sorry, means it will go back 180 steps and then it will climb up 120 steps. So somewhere here, I expect a clone to be created. However, remember, cloning is not complete until we tell the clone what to do once it has been created. So I say, when I start as a clone, I go to looks and I say show, right? So let's just run this very simple piece of code where I'm saying when flag clicked, hide in the beginning, set x to minus 180, y to 120, create a clone of myself, and when I start a clone, show, right? So when I click this, I get a sprite somewhere here, right? Now this sprite is a little bit large. It's all right. Probably we can make its size a little smaller. Let's say we make it 90 so that it fits in, but that's not particularly important for this, right? So it's maybe even we can make it even smaller, let's say 80, right? So that's just size, right? So now it fits in nicely, right? Now let's say let's say I wanted to create another version of this at, say, this point, right? So notice this point has got the same y value, but it has got a different x value, right? So what I can do is I can say change my x by, say, 180, because that will bring it here, and create one more clone, right? So let's do that. I will say, I'll go to motion block. I can say change x by 180, right? Change x by 180 and create one more clone. Why that will work is because remember, the first clone was created at minus 180, 120. Now, after creating this clone, it will change x by 180, which means it will move along the sleeping line by 180. So it will come to this point, and at this point, I can create a clone of itself, right? So I go to control, clone, create a clone of myself. And remember, when I start as a clone, show, right? So I'll say, okay, when I do this, I get one more, right? Now, some of you might be wondering, why did I use change x by 120, by 180, right? Why did I not set, why did I not why did I not do set x to 0, right? In fact, if you are thinking to do this, this is also correct, right? This is also correct. It will have the exact same effect. So here we say set x to minus 180, y to 120, create a clone, then set x to 0, create a clone. I'm not changing y, so y doesn't change, right? I could also do this. However, I prefer to use change x by 180 because remember, it was minus 180 to start with. When I change x by 180, it becomes 0, right? And the reason for this will become clear in just a moment, right? So now let's say I want to create one more clone, right? Let's say I want to create one more clone, which is somewhere here, right? What can I do? Remember, I had started from x of minus 180. I change x by 180 to come here. Now I can change x by another 180 to go to this point, right? And which means if I, let's say, repeated this code, if I repeated this thing, oh, this is too fast. So if I repeated this, what will happen is I'll create three clones. And why did that happen? Let's to see this clearly. Let's say we put a small weight in between all of this, right? So I will create one clone here. I'll create, right? So what is happening is I created this clone, I changed X, I created that clone, I created that clone, right? So I can remove the weight for now because weight is just to illustrate. But by doing this, right? By doing this part of the code, right? I have been able to create three clones in a single row, right? Now notice that this particular part of the code is actually being repeated, right? So what I could do, right? What I could do, really, I need to do change x by 180 twice, right? So I could really say that instead of repeating this like this, I can put a repeat loop and put this whole thing inside a repeat, right? So if I say, let's say, why does this work? Because I am saying, look, repeat this three times, right? Create a clone of myself, change x by 180. Create a clone of myself, again change x by 180, right? So if I did this, let's say three times, as you will notice, I will have exactly the same thing as this code did because basically this code is also repeating that statement, right? So repeat means repeating, right? So do it again and again. So instead of writing the code again and again, I say repeat these three, and that does exactly this thing simply because it repeats these three statements three times, these two statements three times, right? Which is as though, as I did earlier, if as though I did not have repeat, right? It is as though I did basically this, right? Let's say, in fact, as though I did one more of the change x by, sorry, change x by 180, but that really doesn't matter because I'm not cloning after that, right? So I can essentially not do this repetitive code. I can instead use a repeat block to create a grid of 3, right? Now here I'm changing x by 180, so it's appearing like this. Let's say I changed x by only, maybe I don't need to do 3, so I mean I'll do only 3. Let's say I changed x by say 140, right? What will happen is I will get a different placement, and that's because my x changed by a small amount, right? So for now let us stick to 3 and 180, right? So with this, we notice that we are able to create a single row of this sprites, right? Now, let us say we have to create three such rows, right? So basically I've got one row here. Let's say I want to create one more row here and one more row here, right? So how will I do this, right? We notice I can remove this portion, right? Let's move forward. We know that this particular part of the code creates one row of sprites, right? So all I have to do is that I have to say, look, my x has gone, you know what's happening here. I created a clone, change x by 180, created a clone, change x by 180, created a clone, change x by 180. So x has gone somewhere out. So I should do two things, right? One, I should certainly change my y because I want the next row to appear somewhere here. So I should change the y, right? So which means what I will do is I will say, look, let's change y by, so first thing I should change, where is my y? So I can say change y by maybe minus 120, and why minus 120? Because 120 is up here. I want it to come on 0, right? Now, you might be thinking I could have used set y to 0. Yes, that will work. But since I want to use the repeat loop, I will use change y by minus 120. And, right, remember right now my x has gone somewhere here. So if I only change y by 120, it is coming only here, right? So if I change create close from here, it will not be correct, which means that I should come back again to this point and once again start the whole process, right? So how did I do that? I will just set my x to, right? Set x to minus 180, right? So what will this do? It will, again, it would have brought me from this point. It has drawn one row here. Next I come down to this level, so which means I've come back here, and I know that this particular piece of code gives me a row of sprites, right? So all I can do is to take this and just duplicate this. I'll remove this for now, right? If I did this much, so I know what will happen is, first I'll go to minus 180, 120, which is this point, right? By these two, I will repeat 3 times. So I'll create one clone, two clone, three clones of myself. Then I will change y by minus 120. So which means I'll come down here. I will set x back to minus 180, which is basically bringing it back to this point, right? So I've come to this point, and again, this particular code will make me 3 more sprites. So let's see this in action. When I do this, I get 6 sprites, right? And that's basically what's going on here, right? Because we have just repeated this, right? Now, if we can repeat it once, for sure, we can do the same thing again to get one more row, right? So again, I say change y by minus 120, set x to minus 180, right? Now, some of you will get confused with this change and set, but remember, my whole intention is to basically change my y. Having done this one entire row, I want to change the y, right? I can also use set, but since I want to put this in a loop, I use a change, right? Whatever is going inside the loop, I'm putting it sort of in a change. X, I just want to bring it back here, so I'm saying set, right? You could certainly count back how much x has changed, and you can change that. It will be, I think, minus 720 or something. But it's easier to just, in your mind, you have done this row, y is somewhere here, you come down one step and you bring back x, right? So this brings me to this point. Let's say I duplicated this part of the code again, right? So what happens then? Let's remove this. So I have got, let's see the full code. I start at minus 120, minus 180, 120. I get one row. Then I come down 120 steps. Let's change y by 120, minus 120. I set x to minus 180, which is I bring it here. I do this to create one more row. Then again, I come down by 120. I set x to minus 180, which means I bring it somewhere here, and I create one more row. So when I did this, this is what happens, right? Now this works, but you notice what are we really doing, right? We are basically, just like previously, we were repeating the create clone of myself. Now we are repeating this part of the code 3 times, right? One, 2, and 3. So technically, this part is not being repeated, but that's not going to influence because let's say I added, let's say I maybe I repeated this too, I duplicated just this portion, remove this. Let's say I did this, right? This will have no impact on my grid because after doing all this, I am not doing any more cloning, right? Which means that really speaking, I'm setting these two in the beginning. Then I'm really repeating this once, twice, and thrice, right? So which means what I can do is, instead of writing a repetitive code, I can put, remember this was just being repeated once, twice and thrice. So instead of doing that, I will say go inside a repeat loop and repeat this whole thing 3 times, right? Which is exactly the same because it will do this, it will do it again, it will do it once again. So if I did this 3 and 3, I will nicely get a grid of 3 cross 3, right? Now, Why is this method so powerful, right? One, because this kind of logic of coding keeps getting used in many things, right? So you will use this again and again in a lot of things in general, right? Second thing, by doing this, we are able to create what we can call a flexible grid, right? So let's say now I introduce variables. Let's say I say two variables, rows and say columns, right? So make a variable called columns. So when I say rows and columns, right? So let's say I say, in this case, I say set columns to say three, which means I'll get one, two, three columns. And let's say I say set rows to also three. So I will get, maybe I can hide these from here. So I'll get one, two, three rows, right? So I'll get three columns, three rows, right? And instead of hard coding this to three and three, I can say repeat columns first, right? Remember, you have to do columns first, right? Because first we are putting the columns, right? And then in the outer loop, right, I'll repeat this row times, right? So let's see how this thing works. Let's say I did, instead of three and three, I said did only two rows. I will get only two rows, right? Why does that happen? Because remember, I still repeated three times. Columns was three, right? So I repeated this portion three times, but the outer loop, which is, so basically, I repeated three times to get three sprites, but the loop of creating these three sprites together, I repeated only twice, right? So this way, I can play with my code. I can get different kind of effects, right? I can even change, for example, how much the separation between these y should be, this x value should be. I think I showed you earlier. Instead of, let's say, change by 180, let's say if I made it 140, the grid will again look different, right? So grid looks different. So it's very flexible, very powerful. And this logic of using two loops inside each other, it could be a bit confusing, but the way to understand this is really like we did here. Let me restore this back, right? Like we did here, step by step, see what we are repeating, right? And then, so I'll bring this back to 180, so that see how we are repeating the code. And then once we are repeating, then we know we can put this in a repeat loop, right? So I hope this made it somewhat clearer. This is an important concept. I strongly recommend that you write this code yourself and experiment with it, right? Try, for example, try different x separation, different y separation, different kinds of grids, right? We will use this uh, in some form or the other. You will always need this in any kind of programming that you're doing, right? So this is important. Please try to get a hang of this dual repeat loops. All right. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.